You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next, it's the September 13th, 2023 meeting of the LaPorte County Sheriff Merit Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accessLaPorteCounty.org.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the September meeting of the LaPorte County Sheriff's Department Merit Board. Today is obviously September 13th. If you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Captain Allen, would you please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Did everyone get an opportunity to review the minutes from last month? Are there any comments on those? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from August?
So moved.
Have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Motion seconded. All any questions? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Sheriff Heed, good morning.
Good morning. How is everyone today on this? It's almost a fall day out there today.
Terrible.
Yeah. Terrible.
Had to wear pants. You know, had to put the shorts in the closet and put the.
I think it's a little early for that yet.
Yeah, I hope. I hope.
Yeah, I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
So, good morning, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started with the meeting this morning. As you see on the agenda, our calls for service between July and August decreased, and they decreased significantly. We saw our total calls for service decrease 17% from 2,548 to 2,117 from July to August. Our crash reports have decreased, our citations have decreased, disabled vehicles have decreased, cardiers on all three shifts saw significant decreases in their calls for service. And Mr. Kimmel, you and I were talking about this prior to the meeting as to why we saw significant decreases such as this. And there's one word, or I would say there's one reason and one reason only. The kids are back in school. That this time of year, once the kids get back in school, we notoriously see these large decreases in the calls for service. Things kind of settle down once the kids get back in school. Mr. Schooley will attest that probably after Labor Day in his bailiwick, things really start to slow down as well too for him and his crew up there in Long Beach. So, yeah. Although we have seen year to date, we have seen a total increase in our calls for service compared to last year during the same time frame. We've seen a 15% increase over last year. This year we've answered a total of 19,441 calls compared to the same time last year of 16,885. So year to date we're up, but last month we're down. So although I made a note here that we've been seeing a large increase in telephone scams in which the caller will advise this individual that they're being investigated for some type of crime, or they're being investigated for back taxes. And to clarify or to make this right, if they go to the store and purchase gift cards and give them the number of the gift cards over the phone, it will make this all go away. And it's disheartening to see the number of people that actually fall for this. And we're not talking about a couple of $100 in regards to this. We're talking about thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars that people are going out and purchasing these gift cards for and sending. A lot of it's to overseas, and they'll never ever see that money again. So I've always said, if it's too good to be true, or if it sounds too silly, just hang up. Don't fall for it. These scammers are very cunning, and some of them will even threaten that they know where you live and everything. If you're unsure, just hang up and give us a call and ask. Again, it's disheartening. I also sit on the board of directors for one of the financial institution, and we have an individual that's lost well over $100,000 because they've been scammed out of it. So it's definitely disheartening. So I want to get that message out there because we've been seeing it at a large increase. We've also been seeing a large increase from theft of vehicles. Individuals are leaving their vehicles unlocked, and we've seen anywhere from computers, laptops, obviously large amounts of money, to even firearms that are being left in unlocked vehicles. Please remove all your valuables out of your vehicles. Lock your vehicles. Individuals will say, well, I leave my vehicle unlocked so they don't break my window. That's a small chance that that's going to happen. But if you want to leave your vehicle unlocked, don't leave the firearms or your laptop in the car. If you're going to leave it unlocked, please lock your vehicles. That's my public service announcement for today. So I just want to get that out because we've been seeing a large increase in those type of crimes here in the last month or two. So Patrick Guido, Sawyer LaFoon, and Xavier Biggerstaff graduated from the ILEA training on August 18th. I did attend that graduation, which was held down in Morrisville High School. It probably was one of the largest classes on record down there. I think they started off with 195 in the class and they graduated 186. The gymnasium was absolutely packed, and it took a while to go through all those officers to provide them with their certificates, but they were very happy to be done, and they are now in their 4th week of the field training program, and all 3 of them are doing remarkably well. Great, Jim, you'll know, you get a new guy on the radio and it can sound horrible. These 3 new guys, I hear them on the radio and it sounds like they've been doing this job for quite some time. So they are really taken to the FTO program and doing a fabulous job. New hires, Zachary Weffler and Jeffrey Armstrong, have begun their academy training. Of course, they're at NILEA over there in Lake County. They're projected to graduate the end of November, and it is reported that they're also doing very well in their training over at NILEA. So we're happy with these individuals and how they're progressing through their training. We are currently taking applications for the position of merit deputy to fill our 1 remaining vacancy. As a reminder, all applications for this process is due Friday, September 22nd. So for those who haven't got their applications in, get them in before Friday, September 22nd. I do have our yearly agreement with Chris Diltz and Associates. If you guys want to make a motion on this and approve it, then we can sign it afterwards, or I can bring it up to you, Mr. President. It is their consulting agreement for the for next year. And the price is going to remain the same as from this year going into next year. So we just need this signature. If you guys want to make a motion to approve on it.
Just for clarification, Diltz and Associates are the ones that oversee our pension funds. They've been with the LaPorte County Sheriff's Department now for a good number of years. I think it dates back to when Mike Mullenauer was sheriff. And they've done a phenomenal job of protecting the future of our pension, or of our merit officers and that, and cannot say enough good things about Diltz and Associates. So
no, they've been a wonderful addition to the pension and to the sheriff's office. You're right, they've been with us for 12 years, and they're kind of the watchdog of our pension, and they've done a marvelous job.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. With that being said, looks like the amount is $20,000, and that comes out of the pension fund. It does not come out of county sources. So are there any questions on this before we move forward? Can I have a motion to approve this, and then I'll sign it?
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to call Captain Derek Allen up to provide us an update on the Lexipol policy and procedure that we started this project. It probably was 3 years ago, Captain. Is that correct?
August of 2021.
Yeah. So him, I know Captain Hahn, Sergeant Boswell, and Major Cicero were a committee that was put together in reference to this, and they done a marvelous job. I'll turn it over to Captain Allen.
To further expound on what Sheriff Heeg has began to lay out this morning, We partnered with Lexipol, which is a nationwide public safety company based out of Frisco, Texas. They are deep into policy matters, policy full rewrites, policy updates, and it was in support of the Sheriff's Association here in Indiana, along with Sheriff Boyd and his administration. And so we began the project in August of 21. We were assigned a project manager who we worked closely with while it was remote. She was online with us twice a week for approximately 8 hours each week, and then she assigned us homework. What developed from that project was, I have this exactly, I totaled it up this morning, 157 policies consisting of 838 pages of content, along with 26 procedures and 218 pages of content on the 2 different manuals. These are web-based manuals that the personnel can remotely access from their cars if they have a question, if they want to study on a certain topic. And it also has an app feature that they can access from their mobile devices. With what the sheriff has stated previously, this project could not be made possible without the support of him and Sheriff Boyd, along with our inter-agency team that we had consisting of the Major, Major Cicero, Captain Hahn, and Sergeant Boswell and myself. These gentlemen, they came ready to work each week, and this was definitely a team effort. And we're happy that it's done and behind us in the rearview mirror. This was a pretty daunting task, but it was definitely needed for the agency, as the old content was rather outdated and not up to current practice. So with that, I know all except Ms. Mock have seen the platform. I'm here to field any questions or thoughts at this point in time, but yeah, we're really excited that it's behind us.
Captain, I want to thank you for, you were one of the 4 that, like you said, put in endless hours to get this project completed and going through it. I want to thank you for taking the time to get me through it. I had pension board the last time you did it, but thank you for meeting with me and getting me through that. It is an amazing option and an opportunity for people to be able to go through there without carrying the big thick book with them and almost needing a trailer to pull it sometimes. It was so cumbersome. And getting through it, the couple of the things that impressed me really when you were showing me the process was it's got that search option on it. So if you don't know exactly where to look for something, you can type in something that may be related to it, like firearms or whatever, and hit the search, and it will take you to everything in those 180 some pages or whatever, which is very time saving. And so kudos to you guys for getting this thing done, getting it in place, and thank you in particular for getting all of us, and hopefully Ms. Mock can get with you and get that taken care of as well. But
my pleasure.
Definitely a step forward. I think I mentioned to you the thing that caught my eye right away was on the front page. It said Sheriff Heeg, and it didn't say Sheriff Arnold. So I mean, it's just not saying it was antiquated, but the old one was kind of old. So, but good to know that this is done and in place.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. And I'm going to add an addition here to the agenda. I'd like to call Captain Smythe up to the podium and provide us kind of an update of the Marine Patrol Unit. We kind of wound down Marine Patrol operations with Labor Day upon us, so I'd like to have him come up and just kind of provide us an update of the summer with the Marine Patrol Unit.
Good morning, good morning. As Sheriff Heeg stated, we pretty much Labor Day marks the end of our Marine Patrol. We do have to get the buoys out of Pine Lake yet, but that's pretty much then a wrap. No date set for that yet because we kind of coordinate with a couple of barges to come help us out. But for the 2023 season, we put in 185 hours on our local lakes. 90% of it was Pine Lake, some hours on Lake Michigan. We put in about 40 some hours for the Grand Prix which was held last month in August on Lake Michigan, which didn't leave us much hours left to be spent over the Labor Day weekend because due to the weather, the Grand Prix got delayed a little bit here and there. So which took some hours away from what we had scheduled for Labor Day weekend. But we did use all our budget, which is given to us by the Department of Natural Resources, and we got like $41 left. So out of the 10,005, so we used everything we could use, and I can't afford another man hour. So, but that's it. We've 185.5 hours. I don't have the tally of how many boating stops and all that. I'll have that for next month's meeting. And we spent 46.5 hours at the Great Lakes Grand Prix this year.
Okay. Just for clarification, you mentioned this was a result of a grant, so this was nothing that county taxpayers paid for. It was all funded, but yet it serviced LaPorte County.
Correct. This is all a grant we write every year. It's due in January, and the grant is due. The final results are due on October 1st, and it's all provided by the Department of Natural Resources. So, and in turn, that's where they call on us to go out and work the Grand Prix. We also work the jet ski races that were up there, the week before, 2 weeks before, I think it was, on Lake Michigan. We were up there also. So whenever Sean Brown or the DNR calls and wants some help, we go out and help them. So,
did you guys cover the races on Stone Lake?
We were on Pine, but we weren't on Stone because they blocked that channel and they have their whole team there. And but just to make sure nobody's trying to get through the channel and sneak in there, because all they do is put a little banner over and it doesn't really stop anybody.
Right.
So, but all right.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. I'd like to, just as a reminder, on Thursday, September 21st, is the 43rd anniversary of the loss of Deputy Neil Thompson. As we remember, he was killed in the line of duty 43 years ago, this September 21st. And as in years past, we will meet at his grave at approximately 10 a.m. That was the time of his death. We'll spend a few moments of reflection and fellowship that morning. So if you guys are available, I'll send out an email probably later this week, just reminding everybody and inviting everybody that we'll be doing that again.
So that's Central Time, even though we're
Central
gonna be
Time,
in St.
correct.
Joe County.
Even though we'll be in St. Joe County, that will be Central Time. So on Sunday, September 10th, Bethany Lutheran Church held their presentation of checks from the proceeds of Red Wine and Brew that they held over the 4th of July weekend. It was a very nice event. I attended that along with Deputy Jake Coach from the Sheriff's Office, in which we deposited our donation into our drone account. Usually we have made the deposits into our canine fund. However, that is very solvent at this time, and we're kind of starting to spread the wealth a little bit with some of these other programs. I received a sizable donation not too long ago, in which we put it into the Marine Patrol's account as well too. So trying to spread the wealth a little bit to help subsidize some of these other units as well too. So that check was placed into our drone account. On Sunday, September 24th, we'll be participating with the LaPorte City Police Department and the Michigan City Police Department for the annual Cops and Bobbers fishing event for troubled youth. This, I believe, will be the second year that they are going to be doing this. They started this several years ago, but due to COVID over the last couple of years, they've kind of postponed it. They're going to get started on it again. This event will be held here in LaPorte, and it's in conjunction with juvenile probation, that we bring these troubled youth in, that every youth will get a fishing pole and a tackle box when they're done, and have a cookout afterward. Really looking forward to that. It's looking to be a good time. So number 11, I apologize for that. That got carried over from last month. I do have one letter of thank you, and I received a card from a Charlotte, I think it's Verstreeter. It says, Sheriff Heeg and members of the LaPorte County Sheriff's Office, I'm a member of First United Methodist Church on Michigan Ave. We have been challenged to pray for a different first responder every day in September. Today I am praying for the safety of you and for the sheriff's office who keep our community safe. Thank you for all you do, Charlotte Verstreeter. I thought that was very nice that she sent that card in and is going to be praying for us. So I wanted to share that along with you guys. Our next month meeting is Wednesday, October 11th at 9 a.m. And attached, you'll find the Warrant Division, Detective Bureau, and Jail monthly reports attached to the agenda.
Thank you very much. Any comments from the floor? You know, I think we've heard from both of them. Any comments from the floor? Hearing none, comments are closed. Connie, it is good to have you back too, by the way, after you took your 6 months leave or something like that. It seemed like, but good. You're getting acclimated back into the groove. So welcome back. Appreciate it. Comments from the board. Jim?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what you said about Captain Allen and his crew in tackling the big process of getting the policies and procedures up to date. Make sure everybody's on the same page and we're current with accepted practices. So thank you.
Ms. Mock? Jim?
I just had one question regarding your PSA regarding the scams and the theft from vehicles. Has that been posted on social media to get the word out?
Yeah, we posted it on social media, and we even put press releases out to the news media as well to stressing the importance of this. Yep.
Excellent, thank you.
Captain?
So with these telephone scams, what we found through some of the investigations that it's targeting the elderly, and sometimes the elderly population doesn't have access to social media. So we're trying all different channels by way of like conventional news media, but also this morning, just to get the word spread a little bit further, because we found that sometimes it's not always social media that has worked best for these types of investigations.
Yeah, I was on Sound Off earlier this week, in which I stressed that as well. And then the beginning of October, I'm going to be speaking to the retired, I believe it's Teachers Association here in LaPorte County, and I'm going to be stressing that to them as well too. So,
Yes, ma'am.
I get those calls all day, every day. Is the proper thing just to hang up?
Yeah, just eliminate the call and terminate it. It's the simplest solution to the problem. You can't block the numbers because then they just spoof them and come in with a different number from another state or even another country. So it's just terminate the call.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I always recommend that if, and for example, I received a call from Boise, Idaho. I've never been to Boise. I don't know of anybody who's been to Boise or who live in Boise. So I just let it go straight to voicemail. If it's important, they'll leave a message. If it's not, then it's no harm, no foul. If I don't recognize the number or see if it's from out of state, I don't even bother answering it because I'm assuming that it's some type of a scam.
It seems like somehow or another they've got a hold of people who are 65 or older through Social Security and Medicare, and they're reaching that. I mean, it's amazing how many phone calls come in between my wife and I, and wanting that. Now, from what I understand, that may even be against the law to solicit for insurance over the telephone. I don't know. You might want to check with your if you have anybody that has carrying a additional policy for you for Medicare. Check with your agent and see if that is against the law. I've just asked them a couple times to just hang on because I'm going to record the call, and it's amazing how quickly they hang up. So just whatever you can do to get it, and just don't fall for their line. I guess you've said that a couple times, Sheriff, and I appreciate that. So anything else, Lori? Just want to remind everyone that on October 12th, 13th, and 17th, we will be conducting promotional interviews. I talked to the sheriff this morning. I believe those are scheduled to be conducted out at the fairgrounds, just because of the ongoing construction here in this building. So again, that'll be October 12th, 13th, and 17th. I think we just had one person that dropped, so we've got some hefty numbers, which is always positive to know that people are interested in bettering themselves and thus bettering the department. So we'll be ready and raring to go for those 3 days. Jim, do you have something else?
I have one question. Do we have, how many people have put in for deputy so far? Do you know?
How many applications have we received? I think
Yes.
we're sitting about 12 to 14 applications.
That's good. Yes.
So,
Okay.
Good, good, good. All righty. Any other questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, same. Meeting adjourned at 9:28. Thank you.